Welcome to the Best Xpress broadcast. We are live at Anime Evolution. This is your host, John, and I am here with, as always, Chad. Chad, how's it going?
It goes.
So, this has been like a busy day for us.
Yeah, we walked in around, 10:30, 10 o'clock around there. Took a look around before we start getting our badges. What else? And on top of that, a good run around the vendors area, the panel rooms. It's a happening place, that's for sure.
It's definitely alive. Yeah, looking around and I see all the cosplayers are out full display.
Yep.
And your friend Dan is the cross-dresser.
Well,
looking good though.
If I didn't know Dan was a guy, I'd say I'd hit that.
But be honest, pretty bold to dress up like that. And he is a pretty shy guy, though. I noticed that.
From time to time. He's well, let's just say that he does pick and choose who he chooses to communicate with.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like he doesn't want to be outgoing or anything like that. It's just that it's the way he's. I guess you could say how he's experienced things in life.
Oh, yeah.
It's the way it is, right?
Mm-hmm. So, what can we expect from the convention?
I have not a freaking clue because I haven't even looked at the schedule. There's a printed schedule out already, and it's usually at the convention bag. And well, obviously we did not grab a convention bag.
Nope.
So but I do believe the convention schedule is actually on the web. Is either listed on the website or listed on the Facebook page. So if you head over to facebook.com and just look up the official Anime Evolution page there, they do actually have on one of the entries the convention schedule already up and running.
Yeah. Well, we got a chance to meet with Phil from YTV, one of the old VJs there.
Yep. And I kind of wanted him to actually, autograph one of my pogs.
Well, we gotta find him later. I believe he's here too.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like 3. He's already gone, I guess.
Yeah.
But is he here tomorrow? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be back at some point. I don't have anything in regards to his schedule, so I'm kind of winging here. Typically, I don't get too involved with the guest aspect of the convention, so yep. I'm more, hey, there's a fire.
Background organizer.
Yeah, hey, here's a fire. Put it out.
Let's put out the fire. So we had a little, what was it? A little fire we had to put out. Apparently, UBC did not advise the staff regarding the posters, so we have to take them off the walls to make sure that if it chips. Like if it tears the paint, we gotta pay for it, right?
Yeah. Well, you don't really want to peeve off your venue.
Yeah. But so far, we're in the new UBC building, and it is a nice building.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's. I think the layout's really good especially for the vendors because you have traffic flow. It's like. Yeah,
I'll admit, at first I couldn't really imagine it because. Being one of the previous vendor guys, like I used to run the vendors the very first Anime Evolution, and I think the last one I did was about 5 years ago. You're kind of used to having it in a room, right? Mm-hmm. You kind of have a big room. You have one way in, one way out, and all that other stuff. So basically, we're kind of in a very, very open space this year.
Very modern.
And on top of that, you got a lot of people that come in going, and they don't necessarily have to have badges or purchase a membership to actually get access to the vendors this year. However, if they need access to the other, the panel rooms, which is on the floors upstairs,
the third floor,
then you need a badge, obviously.
Yeah.
Because
basically, main floor, you gotta go buy stuff, Gundam models, and the anime squishy toys.
Yep.
And the cosplayers. I love the cosplayers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're recording in one of the press rooms, and so it's been fun so far.
Well, really, other than going to the panels, you also have the vendors room. You have cosplayers you want to actually, when you actually see them and you say, "Hey, can I take a picture?" The biggest message right now, mostly in the cosplay community, especially if you're at conventions, is cosplay is not consent. Just because they're in costume does not necessarily mean you can snatch up their picture without asking them.
Yeah.
And so when you're at a convention, please go up to them, ask them if they can take a picture of their costume. In some cases, if you're able to, take a selfie with them if you can.
Yeah.
Just don't use a selfie stick.
Yes. Yeah. One of the reps was running around with a selfie stick. Apparently, you can only use them if you're press.
Yeah. The reason why it's been banned is because, well, let's face it, you can actually use it to take pictures of up the skirt, and you know what? That's a no-no.
No.
Yeah. Well, then again, if you're Dan, I would like to see somebody actually take a picture, using a selfie stick for taking the underpick of Dan. Because let's face it, that's going to be a very interesting surprise.
Yep. But yeah, I've been playing cosplay bingo, and unfortunately, I think I'm losing at the later end. Because half the people I absolutely do not recognize. I recognize Aladdin out there, and was it Misty from Pokemon? We have some, what is it? BioShock?
Yep.
Yep. But there's others I don't know. Fortunately, I don't know Naruto, and I'm hoping I'm coming across clear, because it looks like the audio on my part is a little quiet, but we'll see how it goes.
Yep. You also have people who are just in a Scooby-Doo cosplay group.
What?
So and one of them is one of the members is a friend of mine named Brian Milne, who's also known as Test Subject B on Facebook.
B, yep.
Yeah. So he look for him in dressed up as Shaggy.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I noticed that we have Magic.
We have Magic the Gathering. We have Settlers Catan. So basically, we do have a tabletop gaming section here. Just make sure you run. They're in the new building, second floor. You just got to look for them. They're around.
And hopefully, you can find their signs.
Well, when you really think about it, this is a newer building, so signage is going to be a little bit harder to put up. But they're going to try to rectify that as best as possible.
Yeah, but definitely there's some exploring to do. I noticed there's a console.
There is console gaming. That is. I keep forgetting who puts it on. I think it was the NPCs of Vancouver.
NPCs of Vancouver.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but you know what? I'll wait to be corrected at a later time.
And I think there was a Gundam model making.
Technically, it's not the Gundam model making panel. It's by a group who does mostly a lot of modeling. They're called the Monster Attack Team. So they've been attending this convention for a very, very long time. So as far as I can remember. So
is their main purpose to build Gundam models and
Gundam models, little Godzilla models, that sort of stuff. So basically, if it's a model kit that you can put together and paint, it's essentially this is their this is the club you want to join for that.
Yeah, and all this information is on the Anime
Evolution website.
Yeah, definitely.
Evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that.
Not the other one.
Not the other one. Yeah.
Not to say, but Evolution.
So, but yeah, it's again, this is going to be 3 days, so there is going to be something for everybody.
Yeah.
On top of that, as mentioned in previous podcasts, there's going to be the voice actress from Legend of Korra. So she's going to be here all weekend.
Okay.
So it's it's like I said, it's if you're not a big anime fan but you'd like animation, then this is one of the conventions you want to go to.
Yeah, and and definitely there's at the main floor. The main floor, there's definitely lots of places to eat, get something to drink, washrooms everywhere.
Yeah.
But
it is still being built because there's a lot of new shops being opened and still being worked on. So please make sure you don't get in the way of any of the workers that are here this weekend, because there's going to be one or two at least doing a little bit of touch-ups and whatnot. So Yeah. Well, can't wait to actually see the building when everything's all ready to go, because I would definitely like to see a lot more food choices in this building.
Yes, because from what we've seen so far, we have pizza, we have the sushi place, which it was okay.
Yeah.
And of course the green grass drinks.
Yeah, there's a one food vendor that actually does liquid nutrient food. It looked interesting, but the question is, what's definition of interesting?
What's in the green? What's in the green?
So on top of that, I believe there is a sandwich shop downstairs, and of course, if you go over to the old sub, there is a Starbucks and a Subway there.
Yeah, which I totally forgot about Subway, because I've been wanting to try their lobster sandwich.
I believe you're kind of going to the UBC version of it, so basically they probably won't have it, but
okay.
You can always ask.
Yeah. But I've been trying to keep up with some of the animes. Majority of the ones I've seen so far is what's from Funimation. But Chad, have you been keeping up with it?
Well, I've been okay. In the last probably like a couple podcasts ago, I did say I haven't watched anything new as of late, and to be quite honest, that was a bit of a lie. I kind of sat down and I kind of recalled a few things. The most recent one I did see was Attack on Titan.
Yep.
Another one was the updated version. Well, actually, the newer version of Saint Seiya.
Oh, there's a new version.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. And dang, what was the other one here? I did actually sit down for once and actually watched Death Note.
I bought the complete season 1 set from Walmart, $12, but haven't got around to watching it. It's a very emo show, as last time I remember regarding it. And I think you are going to have a panel yourself.
Yes. Okay. So it's called Whose Line Is It 18 plus edition.
Yeah.
So what I've done was I've taken clips from various ecchi and hentai shows.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have people do dubbing, or basically ad lib lines for them.
Okay. So how much blackmail material you're gonna get from it?
Oh, the question is who's gonna set themselves up with a mic and have it recording?
Yeah. How are you gonna set it up? Computer?
Basically, we have a computer with some clips ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're going to do is they're going to watch that little 1-minute clip of that show.
And they're going to practice.
And they're gonna figure out what they're going to say there. And then basically, we're going to let them ad-lib their lines.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna watch the the embarrassment fling. I'm gonna try to keep the clips as interesting as possible, but I'm not gonna have people actually do, the moaning bits.
Okay.
Because let's face it, anybody can do moaning bits. I want them to be awkward. Okay. I want them to feel weird. I want them to make sure that when they're done, they want to go back to their hotel room and take a shower.
Yes, and cry. Have a good long cry.
Yeah, because the prize is that nobody really wins.
Nobody wins,
and everybody loses.
Everybody loses.
Yeah.
So you're here for the entire 3 days. You've rented a room?
Yes. I got a room with one of my co-workers here, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting because this is he's got his he's got his daughter here, and his daughter's friend is also here.
Mm-hmm. So gonna keep this one short. I'm gonna see if we can line up some more interviews, and we're gonna take a break. Thanks. And we're
back. Welcome to the podcast. Just a little bit of a break here and monitoring things on producer's chair here, and we are joined by my good friend Drew.
Hi everyone.
So Drew is a resident foodie here, and well, you could say also anime fan.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Been so many years.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to recently?
Recently, I've been actually playing a lot of video games, which is kind of bad, but it takes up a lot of my time, so that's a good thing.
So, what have you been playing recently?
I've been playing Final Fantasy 14. Oh my god, I'm just loving that so much.
You know, my fiance is huge into that.
Yeah, exactly. See.
So you know,
That's it.
I wonder if you guys ever. Actually, no. You guys are probably on different servers, aren't you?
Yes, we mostly on different servers.
Okay.
I think I've talked to Jackie about that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are you playing right now?
Right now, I am playing as a scholar and a white mage, as a healer class.
A scholar and a white mage.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a joke somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and anything else you've been playing?
Maybe just Final Fantasy 14, because a bunch of us, me and my group of friends, we just retired League of Legends. So we're just going to be playing 14 for a little bit long while until another couple games come out recently. So that's about it.
Okay, cool,
Mhm.
cool. So, as I mentioned earlier, you're the resident foodie.
Yep.
So,
Vancouver.
any interesting restaurants you've been to as of late?
As of late, recently, there's actually a very recent restaurant that's coming up down Main Street called Torafuku. It's also by it's the chef who owns Le Tigre, the Le Tigre food cart that floats around in Vancouver. Clement Chan. He was also on the Food Network TV show. He was as a competitor for whatever it is. I totally forgot. I think it's one that's Canada's Top Chef. Yeah, season 2. And he's a quite close friend of me and a couple other friends as well. So
Cool, cool. Any places you want us to avoid?
I don't have a list per se. But I know there are a couple out there. I don't like a lot of places that are like half-assed sushi places. So those drive me insane. So I just 100% just avoid those. Like the ones that are just located in like a small little corner and like down the street. No, not going there.
So-
Pardon me? Beta is that a? I think that's. Oh yes, they have the teas and I think no, I've not been to Beta 5 actually. Yeah, I haven't been to a lot of places for a while, so it's been I've been staying at home a lot, so but I do know for sure a lot of good food places to eat recently as of.
Okay. Okay. So since we're here at Anime Evolution here on UBC campus, any places around here you would recommend?
Yes, there's tons. There's a small village just around the corner, just 2 blocks away. There is a lovely Chinese place that has the bowls of noodles. And then you can actually choose your own choices of whatever you want in there. Delicious food. And you can also go in there and grab, there's also another place just around the corner that also does, deep fry, no, not deep fried. They actually do the pure Asian, fry food. So it's actually really nice and warm for foods. But back to the noodle place. The noodle place also has, they also have gaidanjai, which is the egg tart things, the egg waffles. Those are so good. So how are you going to find a place actually on campus that have egg waffles? It's hard. So this is a first. And then, of course, you're going to get McDonald's there. Meh. But there is a bubble tea. There's also a bubble tea place just around the corner, I think. Yeah, just like 2 blocks down that way, too, as well. So they also have great food and drinks as well.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
So, since we're here at Anime Evolution, and as I mentioned, you're a bit of an anime aficionado here. What have you seen as of late?
As of late, I've actually... Funny thing, since I love food and anime, it just kind of mixed together. Shokugeki no Soma, which I love a lot. I just marathoned it just the other week. And it talks about literally food and anime, how this guy wants to go into and learn about how to cook better as as a competitor and as overall chef, and then he hits these borders, these things that competitions about food, and you have to fight the best against, and it literally is just food and porn, food and porn. It is amazing.
I believe Hugh mentioned it was my friend Hugh. Basically, is also a huge anime aficionado. He called it the anime food porn show.
Pretty much, that's what it is.
So it looks a little interesting. So I should catch that one of these days. And I believe, well, actually, how have you been watching it?
I've been watching it actually on marathon basis.
Okay.
Because I'm a huge marathoner myself. I can literally sit. So when House of Cards came out, I literally sat a whole night, all House of Cards in one full season.
Okay.
I can literally sit 16 hours in one sitting. So
okay,
that's me.
Well, it's not that you mentioned House of Cards, and and you can obviously catch it on Netflix and whatnot here. Do you actually have Netflix?
I do have Netflix. Yes,
okay.
I am a Netflix user myself.
Okay.
If Hulu does come to Canada, I will subscribe to Hulu as well and Crackle, but that's only if they come up to Canada. I will do that. But as a Netflix user, I am highly loving Netflix right now.
Okay. So what are you watching on Netflix right now?
Currently, I am watching the new Netflix original called Bajorno or whatever. It's actually a Danish TV show. It's everything in all Dutch and Danish, and then it's automatically translated to subtitles in English at the bottom. So you're actually kind of watching it, and then you laugh your head off. The style of writing is very similar to Tina Fey's written The Day of Kimmy Schmidt. So it's very similar to that style of writing. So it's really, really funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in one of my previous podcasts, I mentioned that I was watching Sense8.
Sense8. Oh god, iconic.
Yeah. So how did you enjoy that?
I love Sense8 for the production. I do wish Sense8 was a little bit longer. I love how very much it is character based. Very, very well done. And I love how they mix in with, the filming aspect of where they went to specific places to film, so it actually looked authentic. And it was really, really amazing for what it was. The only thing I didn't like about it, that it was too short of a season. If they made it into a full-fledged 24-episode season with maybe an hour each, bam, people would have loved it a lot more.
Yeah, I wish Netflix would actually change its format from up to about a 13-episode season to at least push it out to like a full season that you would have on television
exactly.
and whatnot. But is there a particular character that was one of your favorites?
Sensei, it was the transgendered hacker. What's her name? She was
Naomi.
Naomi was one of my favorite characters, hands down in the whole TV show, and how much she's gone through as in real life and everything. That her parents were really, really, especially her mom.
I hated her parents.
Crazy. Fucking crazy. Sorry, I dropped the F-bomb. Oh my god.
No. On these podcasts, we don't care about the language. I drop F-bombs all the time. You should. We did a podcast which we can't really publish because, well, the editing. Let's just say that the production was so bad that it kept on cutting on us.
Oh goodness. Okay.
I apparently it was about social justice.
Oh my goodness.
And let's face it, about my stance on certain things of social justice. It's a little overdone. And John and we also got Paul with us that day, and they were trying to push my buttons.
Oh my goodness, it's hilarious.
So,
Naomi's been one of my favorite characters overall in the whole season. Cannot say no to her. The only thing I want to complain about is Lithgow, which was the Spanish guy. I love how he kind of represents the gay community. But he doesn't really, because
he's deep in the closet.
It was a very deep in the closet type of guy.
Yeah.
But I do love the scenes that Netflix has produced with Lithgow and the whole group of Sensei characters.
Yep.
That was a really good scene.
Yep.
But I still don't like how Lithgow's character was. He had no meaning into the whole group at all.
Yep.
Like his storyline was just irrelevant to everyone else.
Well,
they just added in just because, I felt like.
You kind of felt that his role's a little more forced.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he has a quality which most people in that cell doesn't have, and he's able to actually hide, and he's able to act
hide
very
it
well.
very well. Yeah.
And if it weren't for him, there were certain situations where he couldn't be able to actually, you wouldn't be able to talk your way out of it. He bullshitted his way out beautifully because he is the actor.
He is the actor,
right?
Yeah. He is a charmer, yeah. He is full of charm.
Yeah.
But everything after that, I love the TV show. TV show is perfect. The only thing is, like, next season, if they do renew it, it has to be totally on a totally different set of characters.
Yeah.
If they're to put on the same set of characters, it'll be really different because.
Well, if you really think about it, there was a previous show before that.
Yes, there was.
And I wouldn't doubt that if they were going to switch over to a new set of characters, they would have to involve one of the characters from that previous season here, right? And I wouldn't doubt that probably any one of those characters we're going to see again, if that's the case. And we already know that one of them is passed on.
Oh, yes.
So that's kind of like I guess you could say the recurring thing that goes on with that, with previous cells is that something kind of moves on over, right?
But I'm
sorry to spoil it for everybody here.
Yes, but it is a good TV show. Sense8 has been a good production, well done on the writing prospect for sure. Character-wise, loved it so much.
Okay, have you been watching any of the Daredevil?
Yes, Daredevil was okay. See, Daredevil was really well done. It was 100% accurate to character base. The only thing I didn't like was that the fighting scenes were extremely subpar for what I wanted from a Marvel piece. Sorry, not from Marvel piece. Because as a huge Marvel fan, watching comparing Shield of Agents to Daredevil, because it's kind of on the same level, comparing them both together, Marvel Shield of Agents had more action. There was more flow, there was more explosions, there was more that wow factor to it as a comic book fan. But while Daredevil's, their scenes were amazingly well done. Don't get me wrong. They had the great one-shot fighting scenes. That was stunning. I remember seeing him in that hallway with like 6 guys. That one shot of fighting scene was just wow. But it just wasn't enough to give me that whole go like, oh, it's a Marvel piece, right?
Yeah.
It's a Marvel fantastic piece.
Yeah.
That's all I would say.
Yeah. There's one nice thing about it is that the creators did keep it true to the comic book.
Yes, they
the
did.
only thing I was kind of a little bit wasn't sure was with it if it is within the same, I guess you could say, a continuum, because they did allude to what was happening in New York a little bit afterwards and whatnot, but they didn't actually name it exactly.
I think the next guy they wanted, who was the next villain they wanted? I believe they even announced it already too.
Yes, they're including the Punisher.
Yes, the Punisher. That's what it was. Yeah.
And I don't think he's necessarily a bad guy in there, but I think he's more of the anti-hero.
Yes.
But they are bringing in the bad guy. I do believe it's going to be Bullseye, maybe.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
I think that's the next guy, but I could be wrong. And on top of that, what else? You did mention Agent Shield.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the ending this year?
I'm actually not caught up this season.
Okay.
I wish I could talk about it, but I know for sure first full season, full-fledged caught up to the part where Skye gets her powers.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm at the part of I pretty much haven't begun the next season due to the fact, but I do love Skye. I'm extremely loving Skye. Yeah.
Okay. Seems we're kind of along that same line here. How about Agent Carter?
Love Agent Carter.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that it's a pure feminism piece, because I love how Marvel's bringing out the female pieces first before anyone else. As a huge advocate of feminism, it does give that whole idea of she doesn't have to depend on someone else, but she does get motivated towards that direction with it, which gives her that essence. Only thing is that I think it was a little short for what it was.
Yeah.
If they gave her a little bit more, it would, give her more of a character. I'm not sure if they're announcing a season 2 yet,
I hope there's a season 2.
Yeah, I really do hope that there's a season 2, but I'm not 100% sure if that's confirmed yet.
Yeah.
I might be behind on that.
Yeah, I did enjoy Agent Carter because it is definitely it's a lot closer to being second wave feminism. Personally,
it is. Yeah.
So it's not none of that third wave feminism. Yeah. Well, we won't go into that.
It's coming. It's coming towards that in power and superheroes. I would love to see more of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Going, since we're kind of going along the lines here, Flash, Arrow.
Okay, now Flash this season, I felt rushed. It felt 100% rushed this season, full on fledged. I'm not an Arrow fan. I gave it one season and a half.
Okay.
I love Stephen Amell, but it's nothing but just eye candy, in my opinion, for me. So I can't really focus on the whole, storyline with it. It's just all eye candy for me.
I see.
So, but Flash was amazing.
Yeah, Flash was amazing, but you said it was rushed.
Really
Come on,
rushed.
you're talking about the Flash here. He's going to rush through everything.
Yeah, rush through everything.
But I do agree. Flash, there was a lot to it, and I think they try to compact it as much as possible.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of felt with the first season of Arrow. Really,
they threw
everything at you, including the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Right. So, what do you think about the trailer for the Legends of Tomorrow?
Legends of Tomorrow. No, did not see that.
Okay.
I did not see that yet. Nope. I'm going to watch it later tonight.
Okay. Okay. So, kind of, since we're on the topic of DC, have you seen the trailer for Batman versus Superman?
Yes, I have seen that.
Okay.
I found that very erotic.
Okay. Any likes, dislikes?
No, I'm not really much of a DC fan. I'll tell you that flat off the bat.
Okay.
I do enjoy the character base with Batman and Superman. Yes.
Okay.
But I was never a DC fan when I was a kid. It was due to my influence of my brother. My brother was a huge Marvel fan, so it kind of stayed there. So I've always been a Marvel fanboy.
Okay.
Hands down.
Since we're on the subject of DC still, how about the Suicide Squad? Have you seen any of that?
I did see the trailer for that. Yeah. I'm actually quite excited for that because we needed another villain movie. Because I'm really into the whole villain aspect of the world, with how this recent trend of how villains have become a big storyline and how they impact heroes themselves. Because villains are, in my opinion, another aspect of heroes.
Yep.
Except they did it in a wrong aspect. Like they tried to reach their goal, but at the same time they did something wrong in between, and they're trying to fix it as much as they can.
Okay.
Right. So that's why when I saw Suicide Squad, that trailer was exactly to what I wanted. But Joker, that man can never redeem himself. I'm sorry. I love him so much, but he cannot redeem himself.
Okay. So now that you mentioned Joker, what do you think of Jared Leto's version of the Joker?
Can't judge it yet. I wish I could see more of it first. When I see more of Jared Leto, then maybe I can judge it on that.
Okay. All right. Since we're on the subject of, I guess you could say superhero movies and stuff like that, and you could say this guy could be a villain, this guy could be more like an anti-hero on the Marvel side here. But what do you think of the Deadpool trailer?
I did watch it. I'm a huge Ryan Reynolds fan, regardless. So seeing Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, I'm up for it. Deadpool trailer was good. It was fantastically well done. There was also the leaked version, which was good too. Oh yes, that was amazing for sure. Deadpool, I'm excited for it. It was just filmed like 4 blocks away. Amazing. I'm quite excited for Deadpool. Yeah. I've never read the comics of Deadpool. I want to, but I know there's so much history behind it that I actually have to sit down and actually read it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one thing I need to do. But I really need to. I love Deadpool overall as a character.
All right. And you're aware that Ryan Reynolds was actually filming during Fan Expo this year, and you did you hear that he was actually going into Fan Expo and meeting up with some of the fans there?
Ooh, yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah. He did actually meet up with one of the fans,
nice.
who was actually dressed up as Deadpool.
Oh.
So it was kind of cool. You actually could see it. I think it was on Van City Buzz where they took a picture, and it was one of his fans. He was in a wheelchair, and he was sitting. He was actually taking a picture while he was actually standing there talking to one of his fans there. So it was interesting. So yeah. So we're going to conclude this podcast for now. Seems that we kind of our time is up. And we thank you for listening, and thank you, Drew, for joining us.
Yes, for sure.
So, how did you feel about doing the podcast?
The podcast was amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to sign off here, and on behalf of John, have yourself a very good day, and hope you guys come down to Anime Evolution and enjoy yourselves.
Oh, how I wish